Hello and welcome into the India Cricket Show here on Global Cricket Radio. I'm your host Andrew McLean, and this show will be looking back at play yesterday in the first test at Centurion between South Africa and India. It was a rain abbreviated day. India had first use of the wicket. In the sense of batting, and it was a tough old day for the Indian side in the face of some very good bowling. But they got through to stumps on 208 for 8. That was largely due to the excellent batting by KL Rahul. But the score, if you didn't see it, the reason why the score was quite low was the fact that there was rain. There was initially rain at the start of the day, which prevented the toss being made on time and play starting on time. And then at the end of the day, there was also rain. So 208 for 8 was the scorecard for India. So just running through it quickly. So first of all, it was the opening batsmen were Jaiswal and Rohit Sharma. And so Jaiswal was out for 17, Sharma for 5, Shubman Gill for 2, Virat Kohli out for 38, Shreyas Iyer 31, Ravichandran Ashwin was out for 8, Shardul Tukkar for 24, Bumrah was out for 1, and the not out batsman, as I mentioned, was KL Rahul. He was not out 70, and Mohammad Siraj not out 0. I'll come to the bowling analysis soon, but suffice to say, KJ Rabada absolutely outstanding yesterday. He missed a domestic warm-up match with a heel injury right before this test, but he bowled superbly, and I'll come to that very soon. But I just want to actually go back and have a look at some of the things that people have talked about in the lead up to this match. And there was a headline on ESPN Cricinfo talking about how, well, the headline was Fortress Centurion. And basically, of the 28 matches played at Centurion in men's tests, 22 have been won by South Africa, 3 have been lost, and 3 have been drawn. And interestingly enough, one of those test matches that was lost by South Africa was actually to India, and so I guess India started the series, 2-test series, with that to sort of look back on, that potentially they might have a chance. But I did think that was very interesting that India has won a test at Centurion. I'd forgotten about that, but just also reading some of the comments. The last test series between these two sides, between South Africa and India, was when was that? That was also in which was also played in South Africa. Sorry. So the last test series between these two sides in South Africa turned out to be the final test series for Virat Kohli as the Indian captain. So that does seem quite some time ago now. Of course, Virat Kohli made the decision he wanted to step away from the Test captaincy and carry on as a limited overs captain. But then, of course, Rohit Sharma took over as the Test captain, and slowly Kohli lost his reins on the limited overs sides as well. Just also some team news. Mohammad Shami, of course, isn't playing in this series after a brilliant World Cup performance to be the leading wicket taker. He missed the first 5 matches. and but he still was the leading wicket taker. And so he's out though. He has an ankle injury, and so that's why he's not playing. But so just to move on, I guess. So there was a rain delay at the start, and just trying to remember exactly what time they started. So they actually came on at 10:30 South African time. So I think it was only a half-hour delay. But I'm about to be joined by Himanshu Prakesh, who co-hosts the show with me. So you'll be getting his perspective and his analysis. But just looking, I mentioned the bowling figures earlier. So KG Rabada, 17 overs, 3 maidens, 5 for 44. So an incredible effort by Rabada. I watched a lot of the play yesterday. He bowled absolutely beautifully, and one of the fans of the show, Pushkar Singh, contacted me during play yesterday, and he said, check out Rabada's home record in Test series. Rabada has an astonishing strike rate of 33, which is kind of incredible, really. So that means he takes a wicket every 33 balls, and I think I think 45 might be Waqar Younis's strike rate. So you're talking some seriously good numbers. And his bowling average is 19. So, I mean, yeah, it's astonishing. So I guess it came as no surprise that Rabada did so well yesterday. The other bowlers, Marco Jansen, 15 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 52. Nundri Berger, he had 15 overs, 4 maidens, 2 for 50. And Gerald Coetzee, 12 overs, 1 maiden, none for 53. So a very good effort by the South Africans, and Berger on debut. It was actually his Test debut in this match, and he performed very, very well. So he's a 28-year-old Nundri Berger, and he's a left arm medium fast bowler. So a fairly solid return from him on debut as well. So Himanshu's now joined me. Hello, Himanshu. Welcome. Good to have you here again on the India Cricket Show. I've just given the listeners an update of the scorecard from yesterday and the fact that Centurions a fortress for South Africa, but actually India is one of the sides that's won at Centurion, and also the interesting fact that last time India played a series in South Africa, Virat Kohli was the captain. So against all that background and Mohammad Shami's injury, etc., what did you make of the first day's play at Centurion?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Andrew. I believe that a day which started against India is finally into their favor, and currently India are looking ahead in the game. Like when you look at the day, the way it went, India did not have a good start. Rohit fell cheaply, then Shubman Gill fell cheaply. Virat Kohli, as usual, was a bit gutsy, like most of the times. But he could not convert it into a big score despite a drop catch. But I think it was a pretty good knock on such wicket. Shreyas Iyer was super with that knock. That was much needed, which actually set a platform for KL Rahul and Shardul Thakur. You have to appreciate Shardul Thakur for the way he comes as an all-rounder in overseas conditions. So now I think with that innings from KL Rahul, the game has turned into India's favor. Not because their batters have done well, eh, obviously they have not, but India is not known for their batting overseas these days. It's always their bowling which is making all the difference. And now we have got Prasidh Krishna who comes at a good pace. He got height, so he can trouble South African batsmen. And the pitch is looking like that it is going to help him a lot in his debut Test match already. And then there is Mohammad Siraj and also Jasprit Bumrah. So I think India are pretty much ahead in this game now, and it's a matter if they reach 250 or 300. I think it's going to be their game because South Africa will also have to struggle on the same track, and the Indians got as good bowling as South Africa. And I don't think it is going to be easy at all for them. They are going to be under pump after KL Rahul's innings. Either they will have to come aggressive, which I don't think this African side will, because they are generally playing conservative test cricket at home. So I think yeah, it is going to be India's game now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing is that about yesterday's performances. India got off to the worst possible start in the sense that there was rain which delayed the start, which was always going to be in favour of a bowling side. From what I saw on TV, that the pitch looked like it um, had something in it for the bowlers, and when Rohit Sharma went out to inspect the wicket, he didn't run on the wicket like Tom Curran, by the way. Um, Excuse my dog Lucy in the background there. Lucy, shh. He didn't run on the wicket like Tom Curran, but when he went out to inspect the wicket, he
Mm.
he must have wanted to bowl if he won the toss, but he lost the toss, and South Africa fielded first. So that also went against India right from the outset.
Yeah. Uh, you were expecting India to get a good start with Yashasvi and Rohit. Like, if we see that it was a bit casual approach from Rohit Sharma, that shot was never needed when you are captaining a national side and you yourself do not have a good record in South Africa. But Rabada was constantly challenging him. Although Rohit Sharma did not last too long, just 14 balls, he could have showed much better grit and determination to not play the balls and just stay somehow. Yashasvi Jaiswal tried that, but obviously it did not work out as well. So Rohit Sharma just kept going for his natural game, I think, which did not help him. Jaiswal, I am also a bit disappointed in Jaiswal, but more than that, I am disappointed in Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill, there this stat that Shubman Gill averages 18 Sena countries this year, or yeah, this year. And at home he averages 58 in Test cricket this year, but in Sena countries he averages 8, which does not justify his talent and the chances he has been given. So I'm more disappointed in Shubman Gill than Yashasvi and Rohit. We all know the kind of game Rohit plays. If it was his day, he would have kept going with that approach. And Yashasvi is fairly new to international cricket. You cannot expect him to just go and hit it from the day one when the pitch is of such nature. Virat was amazing. Virat did well, but yeah, it later turned out to be India's day, and I think KL Rahul has taken a very fine knock of playing in the middle order. He has adjusted. If he was in top four, like who knows, he may have struggled as well, like the other batters. But it was a good call. He got his enough time to settle his mind the kind of way he wants to play. He maintained a good strike rate as well. It was not like he was taking so much pressure. 70 not out of 105 balls. Superb knock. A knock which will define the match. A knock that will define the match eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to pick up on some of that. And I watched most of it yesterday. I think I probably agree with you with regards to Rohit Sharma. I mean, the ball was there to be hit, and
Hmm.
I have no problem with him. Playing a hook shot. And you're always a
Yeah, it's
little,
his favorite show.
you're always a bit unlucky when you find the fielder. Like so. I wouldn't say that was a bad shot.
Hmm.
Arguably, you could say playing it in the fifth over. Did he really need to do that? But I'm with you on that. I don't really see an issue with that. With Jaiswal, I think he was just a little bit loose. And bearing in mind this was only 4 overs after Rohit Sharma got out, and I know that Jaiswal's playing in only his third Test match. It is. I watched his first Test match in Dominica. But he's an opener, and although he's young, he's got an incredible record at first class level. He averages 80. He's got 1200s, I think, at first class level, and he shouldn't really be playing that shot. But it was interesting that Rabada and Jansen were bowling quite short, and then when Berger came on, he pitched it
Hmm.
up, and he got Jaiswal's wicket. So yeah, I think that Jaiswal might have been a bit loose, but perhaps he fell into the South African trap.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Burger was bowling at pretty good pace, and when you are playing Nanze Burger on one such track, you are always going to have a bit difficult time. You have to show uh, a better technique, which I won't doubt for Jaiswal. Like, obviously he has got a plenty of first class experience, but if we have seen even the great batters like Sachin, Dravid, and many others struggling in South Africa, just like on every tour, and you just like that it was their first match they were playing in South Africa. We have seen how they have failed to Dale Steyn in past, or many others, Sean Pollock, many others. There's something in South Africa which Indian batters cannot figure out. Obviously, it's the bounce and the pace which they are not used to play. And when you say that Jaiswal got a plenty of first class experience, you have to keep in mind that that experience came on the very slow tracks of India, the flat tracks. He comes from Mumbai. He hails from Mumbai, where the most of his domestic cricket experience is either at Wankhede or some nearby stadium in Mumbai, or tracks
Yes.
or tracks in
Yeah.
or
I,
tracks in or
I,
tracks
I,
in India.
I take your point. I take your point. Perhaps I was being a little unfair, and perhaps I'm also clouded by the fact his technique was immaculate when he played in Dominica, but that was a very flat, ordinary track, as Sir Curtly Ambrose said on commentary that day. But just moving
Hmm.
on, so Virat Kohli was out, caught behind the wicket off Rabada for 38. It was a great ball from Rabada, um, just angling in, and he sort of nipped away and took the edge of Kohli's bat. Um, but just prior to that was Suresh Iyer, um, and he
Hmm.
got a virtually unplayable ball from Rabada. He
Hmm.
hit it just cleaned him up basically. It was an in swinger. Perhaps it kept a little bit low, but it just clattered into his stumps, and he went out for 31. So those two wickets really broke the back of of India's batting, and then it was left to KL Rahul to work with the rest of the batsmen to try and resurrect the innings. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on the spell by Rabada, because he really was the difference, in my opinion, yesterday.
Ah, well, the weather has always to be different when you are playing on one such pitch. If you look at Shreyas Iyer, like Shreyas Iyer is also a batter with good technique. He got a little bit of weakness against the short balls, but he is generally a good player when it comes to when it comes to any kind of cricket, we know it. But if you look at the way he got out against Rabada, he was not beaten by his technique. He was beaten by the pace. His bat came. It was an unplayable delivery. Definitely, his bat came down a bit late, and that's where it cost him. Like, but he did his job. Before getting out, he kind of did his job. He made a good 30 at a good strike rate. Yeah, but the difference was always going to be Rabada. See, in South Africa, not just in South Africa, when you are playing against India in similar countries, all you need is just a good pacer who will take a fifer, and Rabada did that, and he got a good support. It's not like that he was the only one struggling. He got a good support. There was Burger supporting him, and there were like it was going to be their day. India did not get to bowl first. If India were bowling first in these conditions, I am pretty sure that they would have troubled South Africa the same way. So it's not that Rabada is a difference. I think the toss was more important. South Africa were just lucky that they got to bowl first, and obviously you were expecting that kind of performance from Rabada, and I am expecting a bit better performance than either of Bumrah or Mohammad Siraj in these conditions. I
I just
hope India
want to
can make out.
just want to pick up on something there because I agree with you. I think if it had been the other way around, that the Indian bowlers really would have troubled the South African batsmen as well.
Hmm,
And but one thing, a friend of mine, Pushkar Singh, contacted me yesterday. He said, "Have a look at Rabada's home record strike rate in Test matches. So this is on over about 60 odd Test matches. He strikes a
hmm,
wicket every 33 balls. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I think Wakar Yunus was something like 45, just to give you some
hmm.
perspective. He averages 19, so it really, really is quite significant. Speaking of significant, is from a South African perspective, Tavimba Boomer. Um, he injured his hamstring yesterday, and it looks like he may well be out of the match. Um, so that's not great for South Africa when it's their turn to bat, which will probably come perhaps even in the first session of day two.
Hmm. Yeah, Rabada is like 14 fifers in test matches, and you are saying some 60 odd test matches. That's incredible record. He's kind of getting fifer in every four matches. You can say. And of course, he plays in South Africa a lot, but we have seen him performing outside his home checks as well. So the weather will obviously be a different. Indians must have a better plan against him if they want to go on and win the series. Obviously, it's a small series, very small series, two matches series. You don't get good time to prepare against each bowler, and I think Rabada has his share of success in the series in this first innings already. Bavuma will be out, as we are hearing that he has pulled his hamstring and it's not going for him to recover that fast that he can come out to bat. Obviously, when if he comes out to bat, he will be struggling to be in his rhythm. And this is that kind of track where you cannot just lose out on your rhythm. You have to be on your more than best. You have to be very quick with your movements. But if you are not 100% match fit, see, we have seen Bauma doing that earlier. He in the World Cup he played when he was not 100% fit. That
Yeah,
did not work in that did not work in India when you are playing a World Cup
yeah,
where tests are comparatively fairly easy for batters. I don't think that is going to work ever in South Africa. Either he
yeah,
will have to be 100%, but all their only hope is Dean Elgar, man. We have seen Dean Elgar. If South Africa wants to win this match, they have to be Dean Elgar standing the one end, and then Markham, Jolsey, and Peterson kind of batters attacking from another end. Peterson is also good. The batting lineup they have, you can expect some of the determination from them. We have seen the all the same players: Elgar, Peterson, they had troubled India on the previous tour when India were fairly looking in the game. And India kind of had the similar lineup. Shami was there. But I think Siraj this time can make a difference. Siraj can run through any of the attacks if he on his day and he has the supportive conditions. Conditions are very overcast. Conditions are just designed for pacers.
Yeah,
And India got four pacers in the squad. Prasidh Siraj. Thakur doesn't have that much pace, but Bumrah and Siraj and Prasidh got the pace, and they will be just they are just waiting to ball. I think they will be happy if India gets bowled out in the first session by adding 20-30 odd runs and they get a chance to take on South Africa. They will just be waiting to get on Elgar, Markham, Georgie. Bouma is not there. Peterson, Bellingham is quite new, and after that they don't have batting. Their batting ends at Peterson mostly because after that Kyle Byron is good. He got experience, but after that their batting starts to like decline. There's Marco Jansen, who is an all-rounder, Koetze, who is a part-time batter, then Rabada and Burger. So not that deep batting as much as India, where even Shardul Thakur bats a bit. Dean Elgar is the key. If he
yeah,
stays on the crease and yeah, if he
I
stays on
agree
the
with
crease,
you. I
plays
agree with you, and obviously it's a very significant test for Dean Elgar, or for significant series. I saw an interview on Super Sport with him. He was being interviewed by Pommy and Bangwe yesterday, and he just sounds like such a
hmm,
determined guy. And all he said is he said I don't care about how I go. I just want to win this series. We've never lost to India and South Africa, and I don't want to lose this time either. So anyway, all to look
yeah.
forward to on day two. Himanshu, thanks very much for joining me again as my co-host on the India Cricket Show here on Global Radio, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. So from me and Himanshu,